What if the next strategic partner of the United States in the Red Sea is a country most of the world still doesn't officially recognize? What if one diplomatic shift in the Horn of Africa could reshape shipping routes, military access, and global trade corridors? And why are Washington, Gulf powers, and Israel now watching Somaliland so closely in 2026? Welcome to Horn Lens, where we decode global power, trade routes, and geopolitical strategy shaping the Horn of Africa and the world. This channel delivers high-precision analysis on infrastructure, diplomacy, and economic competition, with the discipline of BBC reporting, the global context of Al Jazeera, and the strategic clarity of Bloomberg. No hype, no noise, just power, access, and incentives. If you want serious, fact-based geopolitical analysis on the world's fastest-changing region, subscribe and join a rapidly growing global audience of analysts, professionals, and decision-makers. Because today, understanding geography means understanding power. Now, how does a country that most of the world doesn't recognize, one that exists in the shadows of international diplomacy, become a key player in one of the planet's most strategic and fiercely contested zones, where the fate of global trade is decided every day? This is the remarkable and often overlooked story of Somaliland, a nation that has quietly shaped its own destiny. Somaliland, a self-declared state on the Horn of Africa, has maintained peace and stability for over 3 decades, even as chaos has engulfed its neighbors. In 1991, Somaliland declared independence from Somalia after a brutal civil war, building its own democratic institutions, government, and military from the ground up. For 35 years, it has functioned as a de facto state, a rare pocket of calm and order in a region often defined by conflict and uncertainty. Yet, despite its achievements, no major world power has offered formal recognition, until now, as the tides of geopolitics begin to shift. Somaliland sits on the southern coast of the Gulf of Aden, overlooking the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a narrow passage that serves as a choke point for global commerce and energy supplies. Nearly a third of the world's container shipping passes through these waters every year, making stability here not just a regional concern, but a global priority for governments and businesses alike. Somaliland's leaders have long argued that their hard-won stability and local knowledge could help secure this vital corridor against piracy, terrorism, and trafficking, threats that have plagued the region for decades. For years, these arguments fell on deaf ears, as the world clung to the idea of a unified Somalia, hoping for peace that never fully arrived. But with new rivalries, shifting alliances, and rising threats to maritime security, the world is finally starting to pay attention to Somaliland's unique position. Somaliland's moment on the world stage has arrived, and its strategic play for recognition and influence is just beginning. Somaliland's importance is best understood in contrast to its chaotic surroundings. While the region is often associated with instability and violence, Somaliland stands out as a rare exception, a place where order and peace have taken root against the odds. The Horn of Africa is plagued by conflict. Somalia remains unstable. Ethiopia faces internal strife. Sudan is in civil war, and Yemen is fractured by violence. These crises have displaced millions, disrupted economies, and left neighboring states struggling to cope with waves of refugees and insecurity. Yet, Somaliland has charted a different course since 1991. After breaking away from Somalia, it has quietly built a functioning state, largely free from the chaos that engulfs its neighbors. Through grassroots peace conferences, it disarmed militias and built a government based on consensus. Local elders and community leaders played a crucial role in forging peace, using traditional methods to resolve disputes and foster unity. It has its own police, military, and coast guard, and has held multiple free and fair elections. These institutions, though modest, have helped maintain law and order, and have earned the trust of Somaliland's citizens. This stability is Somaliland's core value proposition. In a region where daily life is often marked by fear, Somaliland's calm streets and vibrant markets are a testament to what is possible with local ownership and determination. In a region where billions have been spent on failed stabilization, Somaliland offers a proven, reliable partner. Its growing infrastructure and strategic port of Berbera have attracted international interest, hinting at its untapped potential. The UK and UAE have engaged informally, but always cautiously, due to international support for Somalia's territorial integrity. Despite this, Somaliland's consistent stability has made it impossible to ignore. Now, with new pressures and shifting alliances, Somaliland's 3 decades of peace are its strongest argument for a bigger role. As global interests shift, its record of peace and self-governance stands out more than ever. The world is finally taking notice, and Somaliland's story is beginning to reach a wider audience, one that is searching for hope and stability in a troubled region. In December 2025, Israel formally recognized Somaliland, shattering the diplomatic status quo. For Somaliland, this was the breakthrough it had sought for decades, its first recognition by a UN member state. Israel's move was driven by its need to secure maritime trade routes through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Somaliland has even offered the possibility of an Israeli military or intelligence base, a move that could reshape regional security. Following this, Somaliland launched a diplomatic offensive, targeting the United States as its next key partner. Their pitch, stability, democracy, and a strategic location, offering solutions to America's concerns in the region. Somaliland is building powerful bilateral partnerships, betting that wider recognition will follow. The diplomatic landscape of the Red Sea is changing fast. Somaliland's appeal isn't just strategic, it's economic. The port of Berbera, once underdeveloped, is now a modern logistics hub thanks to over $400 million in investment from DP World. The Berbera Corridor, a new highway to Ethiopia, is key, offering Africa's second most populous country a vital alternative to Djibouti's port. This route promises faster, cheaper trade for Ethiopia and transit fees for Somaliland. The UAE's investment signals long-term belief in Somaliland's stability and economic future. Berbera is more than a port. It's a strategic anchor for UAE influence in the Horn of Africa. Somaliland is also marketing its untapped oil, gas, arable land, and fisheries to international investors. President Abdullahi's administration is actively courting Western investment. The message: Somaliland is open for business, not just military bases. It's a rare frontier of opportunity in a region desperate for stability. The world is starting to listen. Somaliland's diplomatic push comes as Washington reassesses its Red Sea strategy, seeking new partners in a region where alliances are shifting rapidly. Maritime security is paramount. Recent Houthi attacks have exposed vulnerabilities in this vital waterway, threatening global trade and energy supplies that pass through the Red Sea every day. A stable partner like Somaliland, with its strategic deep-water port at Berbera, is increasingly appealing for US surveillance, logistics, and rapid response operations in the region. The US also faces growing Chinese influence, especially after Beijing's military base in Djibouti, just miles from American forces, raising the stakes for control and access. Supporting Somaliland could counter China's expanding footprint and reinforce a pro-Western presence at a critical maritime crossroads, shaping the balance of power. Somaliland's stability is a strategic asset. Unlike Somalia, it has kept extremists at bay, maintained internal order, and fostered a climate of relative peace for decades. Strengthening Somaliland's security forces could be a cost-effective way to contain threats, prevent piracy, and support counter-terrorism efforts across the Horn of Africa. But formal recognition would break with decades of US policy and anger African allies, who fear it could set a precedent for separatist movements elsewhere. Washington is treading carefully, increasing cooperation without full recognition, balancing strategic interests with diplomatic sensitivities. The US may boost aid, training, and security ties, treating Somaliland as a key partner in practice, even if not in name. The question of formal recognition remains unresolved, leaving Somaliland in diplomatic limbo as it seeks greater international legitimacy. Somaliland's future as a US ally is being shaped now, with every negotiation and new agreement. The stakes for regional security and great power competition are high, as the Horn of Africa becomes a new arena for global influence. Somaliland is at the center of it all, its choices and partnerships shaping the future of the Red Sea region. Somaliland's rise has triggered a fierce response from Somalia. Mogadishu condemned Israel's recognition and vowed to block any foreign military presence in Somaliland. Somalia quickly signed new defense pacts with Qatar and Saudi Arabia, rallying regional support for its claim. It also severed ties with the UAE, targeting the Berbera port deal. The Horn of Africa is now a chessboard of rival alliances, Somaliland with Israel and the UAE, Somalia with Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. Every move now has regional repercussions. Somaliland's strategic play is unfolding amid a new great game for the Red Sea. The UAE and Saudi Arabia, once allies, are now rivals, competing for influence from Yemen to Sudan and the Horn of Africa. The UAE's support for Somaliland and its port network is part of a broader push for regional power. Saudi Arabia is countering by backing Somalia and asserting its leadership in the Arab world. This rivalry adds volatility, as both use alliances and conflicts as proxies. Somaliland can exploit these divisions, but risks being caught in the crossfire. Its partnership with Israel and the UAE puts it at odds with a powerful coalition. The path to recognition and stability is more challenging than ever. In 2026, Somaliland stands at a crossroads. Its bold diplomacy has forced the world to take notice, but the path forward is uncertain. The likely scenario: deeper engagement with the West, security cooperation, investment and aid, without formal recognition. This lets powers like the US benefit from Somaliland's stability without angering the African Union. Full recognition remains Somaliland's ultimate goal, but it faces resistance from the African Union and UN Security Council. Somaliland's best hope is to prove its indispensability as a partner in securing trade and countering threats. If successful, practical partnership may eventually force formal recognition. Somaliland's fate will shape the Horn of Africa's future. A stable, prosperous Somaliland could inspire new models of governance. The world is watching as Somaliland makes its boldest play yet. If you want in-depth, neutral analysis on global trade routes, power competition, and the Horn of Africa's evolving role in world geopolitics, subscribe to Horn Lens. Because in the modern world, geography is strategy.